Hey guys, what's up? It's LG.
This is Peter and we're from AP Bass Fishing, and today we're going to talk about what's in store for the 2017 fishing season and what we're going to be doing from month to month, explaining some trips that we got planned already, and show you some baits that we're going to use for different type of fish, different type of scenarios, and we'll get into it.
For trout, we're going to be throwing a little bit of different baits. We got some flies, we got black and yellow, as you can see. We have a couple jerk baits we can use, all Shimano. We have some spoons down here, about 5 or 6 of those, and we got some spinners in there we can start using. That's all going to be early February in clear water situations.
We're also going to throw some power bait though, a bunch of different colors, a bunch of different scents. We'll see what works, but that's usually the go-to if this stuff doesn't work. I mean, we like throwing the lures because they're good for if we're doing catch and release. If we're looking to keep a bunch of trout and make a meal out of it, we're gonna throw the dough obviously because they're gonna more likely have a chance for them to get gut hooked, and we don't wanna have to kill any if we don't have to. So this is what we're gonna be throwing for trout. Just a bunch of stuff, and we got a couple of trips planned for trout. We're gonna head up the Pequannock River here in Fairfield County. We're going to head up the Farmington River in Hartford. They got some pretty good fish in there. Hopefully we could get a couple of nice trout in there, but just if we're going to look to have fun, just catch a bunch of trout, we'll go to like our local reservoir or whatever, and we'll catch a bunch there. But this is what we got planned for trout so far for this February, March, and going into springtime. Alright guys, so this is all the bass stuff we got right here. This is just a bunch of stuff that we're going to be using throughout the season.
Bunch of basic stuff.
Over once spring hits, once the spawn hits, and all the way through fall fishing, probably until October. I really want to get into fall fishing this year. I mean, it's been tough. I tried it this year and I really didn't get into it that much. I tried some different stuff and I really wasn't the best. So I'm definitely going to take another shot at this season, and we'll see what happens. But for right now, we're going to talk about each bait, when we would use it, what time of year we would use it, when we would throw it in certain situations, certain scenarios, depending on water level, clarity, weather, temperature, all that kind of stuff. We're going to cover it. So to start, we have some Zoom horny toads right here. This is something you would want to throw in probably the beginning of summer. You could maybe try throwing it over late spring, but this is more of a top water bait you're gonna throw when it's 60 or above. Overcast, sunny, doesn't matter. But you're gonna throw this bait right here whenever it's warm out and whenever the fish are feeding top water. This is a great bait to throw. Next, we have some just regular tubes. These are great for smallmouth fishing in the river. They work fantastic. You could just get a little Texas rig, a little bullet weight, and just bounce it off the bottom. It's great for those smallmouth that are biting down low. Next, we have some Yum money minnows, paddle tails. These are great for fishing in an open water scenario or weeds, depending on how you rig it. But this is going to work better in an open water scenario due to the paddle tail, and it has such great action when you're fishing it through open water. You rig this up with a swim bait hook. This is probably the best option for it. But you could use this this is a good bait to throw in the beginning of the spring, all throughout the year really. It imitates a minnow, so it's always a good option to throw. It's a good bait. Next we have just some flukes. This is also a great bait to throw, similar to this. This is an awesome bait for twitching through weeds, through clear water, whatever you want to do. This really is a versatile bait, and it works great in all scenarios really. It almost imitates like a dying minnow in the sense, because you could either run it through the water, burn it, or you could twitch it in, have it imitate a dying minnow, and a bass will definitely pick that up. Next, we have some Yum craw poppies. This is the smaller version of the craw that they make. They have a Christie craw, which is also great, but this is the smaller version right here. And I picked this smaller version to talk about specifically because this is a great bait to throw in the early spring when the bass are just, you know, not as ready to eat and not as ready to you know, fatten up because of the water temperature, obviously. So we're going to be very sluggish. We're not going to be as aggressive. So you're going to want to throw a smaller, less more compact bait, like something like this, where the here, let me show you. You want to zoom in?
Mm-hmm.
Something where it's gonna, you know, it's small, it's compact. You could bounce this off the bottom. It works great. You could Texas rig it with a little bullet weight, and you know that's gonna work awesome in the spring. That's gonna be a go-to bait for me, definitely. Especially in the ponds that I fish, they have like craws just like this in there. So hopefully this is gonna be like the winner in the spring, but obviously we have more tactics in this. This is just the swim bait stuff, guys. Too. This isn't just not the swim bait. This is the soft plastics we're gonna fish. We also gonna talk about hard baits, lures, crankbaits, all that stuff, jigs, spinners, buzz baits, all that stuff. But this is just the soft plastics we're gonna talk about for now.
I mean, like up next we have some creature baits. These are my favorite bait to use other than wacky. I mean, you can only use wacky when you have open water, but I prefer using these when it's like kind of like a hotter day. You know, fish don't like coming up to the top. They want to stay down and get some cooler water. I Texas rig them and just, you know, cast it, retrieve, have a little bit of a pause. I mean, some of my bigger fish have come off the pause, and when they hit it, they're about. Charlie, they got about, like Peter said, like these. They're on the smaller side, but they're good for fishing on the bottom. Like I said, you usually want to Texas rig it. Up here we have beaver baits. These are bigger, so I like to toss these into like weedier areas of a pond, lake, anywhere. I mean, they cause more of a ruckus on top of a lily pad or anything. You can obviously Texas rig it and throw it on the bottom, but when it's on top of a lily pad and you're jigging it, you're pausing it, I mean, it looks bigger to a fish from when they're looking up at a lily pad and they see this going across rather than something like that. Lastly, we have some paddletail worms. These right here. Same thing, you can Texas rig it, you can float it on the top. I know Pete's dad loves to use these, and he has a couple 6-pounders off these, so it works pretty well. You can do the same. You can either put them on top of the lily pads. Anything weedless you want to do with these, you can do. Kind of like bullhogs or even or beaver baits or the creature baits. So yeah, let's go on here. So we have a spinner here that we will primarily use in colder water. You can use this all year long if you want. Make sure, I mean, it's cast and retrieve, but you want to make sure to jerk it, pop it, whatever you want to do just to get the skirts to show and get a reaction strike. We have a popper. This is usually end of spring, early fall. You can use this. This is, you want to make like shoot through the water, so again you get a reaction strike or whatever. This is a spook. This is different from the popper. This you want to kind of make walk across the water, sort of say. This again is used from late spring, early fall, and in any types of water if you want. We have a jig. These you can use all year long. You want to make sure you want to match the skirt with a craw and cast it, jig it, get any sort of movement you can to get a reaction strike. And then this swim bait, I believe it's a sunfish swim bait. You can use this all year long. Like I said, we want to use this a lot during the spawn, just to, I mean, when the bass get really protective of the fry and everything else, just to toss it in there and see if we can get a reaction bite or anything.
Yeah, guys, with this swim bait right here, this is going to be a real key along with this lipless crank, which we're going to talk about in a second. But this bait's going to be key during the spawn. Those two are going to be a real big part of it. And one reason being, like he said, is this bait is going to be a real like hard to miss bait for the bass, especially in ponds where the bass are going to start spawning a lot earlier than the than the bass in the lakes and the rivers are, due to like how like small the area is, and the pond's obviously going to heat up quicker. This bait's going to be a go-to in this spawn, because the sunfish are going to try to feed on that bass fry, and you know the bass are going to be real aggressive to protect their fry, and you know they're going to obviously get fattened up too for the spawn. So they're going to be feeding on bluegill and sunfish all throughout the spawn. So this is going to be a great bait to go through. All right, so now we got a bunch of frogs here. A lot to cover. First, we're going to start off with a popping frog. These frogs are great to throw in more open water. I mean, you could throw a frog in weeds, but you want to throw popping frogs in more open, clear water, because it's going to have that it's going to bring that effect where it's going to splash the water, and it's going to make a lot of disturbance at top of the water. But these are great. Now the key differences between these two baits right here are the legs, as you can see. This Booyah Poppin' Pad Crasher, as you can see, has skirted legs, and those kind of obviously sit out from side to side, and they just kind of like explode as they're popped throughout the water. But this one is almost like similar. This is more lively. This is more realistic compared to that frog, because it has the lifelike legs, as you can see, and once you pop it, it kind of has the frog like extend like that, like a real life frog, as you can see. And it's moving, it's bouncing on top of the water. This is a great bait to throw. Now we have not a soft body frog, but a hard body frog. This is a great bait to throw really anywhere, in open water and weeds. You really don't want to throw this into lilies, and it's going to get hung up. The hooks are gonna get stuck since it's not lilies like those are. But this is a great secondary option if you don't have really any of these frogs. This is a great one to throw. It's really going to work good. It also has a rattle in it. And by the way, this is a Rebel popper frog. No, not the popper frog. This is just a frogger. This is a great frog to throw. Now, my personal favorite is the live target frog. This is just a standard frog. Unfortunately, Live Target doesn't make popping frogs. That'd be awesome if they did, but unfortunately they don't for right now. But this is just a regular green color. This is honestly my go-to frog. It's the perfect size. It's detailed perfectly. The body on this frog is very, very soft, and it walks great. I mean, if you don't know how to walk a frog, this is a really good frog that's going to walk easily for you. It doesn't get filled up with water. It retains its buoyancy. It doesn't sink like a lot of other frogs do. Like I've bought cheap frogs where the frogs just, you'll be out there for 10 seconds and they just sink, and it's not worth it. If you want a good quality frog, you're gonna throw something like this. And for all these frogs, really in these two top water, we'll cover those in a second, but these you're gonna be throwing in a lot warmer weather. You're gonna be throwing these. I mean, you could throw them in the end of the spring. That's a little bit of a push, but you're really gonna be throwing these top water frogs and top water soft body frogs in the summer, in the warmer weather. These are gonna be great. Here we got a real. Yeah, we got a Live Target sunfish, which is actually a newer bait that the Live Target has come out with, and this just resembles obviously like a dying sunfish on top of the water. And for the reservoir that we go to, this works great because I've seen a lot of dead sunfish, especially in the summer when the water gets really heated up, and sometimes the fish get like stuck in between like the weeds, like when it goes like shallower. Because we're facing a really bad drought here towards the end of the season in Connecticut. We've had a real bad drought here, and a lot of sunfish died off in the reservoir that we were at. So this is going to be a great bait to throw in the summer, along with this rat. This is also a Live Target rat. This is a great bait to throw too, along in the summer when the temperature is a lot warmer. I haven't really seen a lot of rats in the reservoir that I fish at, but
we got like a lot of snakes in there.
We have snakes.
A lot of snakes, a lot of bugs.
We have snakes, bugs, but this This will probably work. It's a top water bait. They're gonna see obviously the bottom of it.
Something to
skirt.
fool around with.
I mean, even if there is no rats in there, you know, it's gonna cause that strike.
Like commotion on top like a lure.
Exactly. Now here we go. We also have to talk about this. This right here this right here is a horny toad. This is a great bait to throw. That's like in the same thing as these. It's gonna work great in the summer when it's hot out, obviously, because it's a frog. But the key difference between this, if I'll show you, if you let me break it out real quick. The key difference between this, something like this, and something like this, is obviously the legs. Now, these legs are not going to cause as much commotion or disturbance along the water as this is. These are like almost like a swim bait. They have the paddle tail legs, and this is going to cause a lot of commotion on top of the water. And you know, these frogs are also great too because obviously of their softness of their body. But these frogs come pre-rigged for you. They have a little weight right here, a little weighted hook, a little paddle tail swim legs. These are going to cause a lot of vibration, a lot of commotion on top of the water, and it's fairly cheap too. It's fairly cheap. It's only $4.97 for two. I mean, it's not bad. Something like that, you're going to spend $10 on this. You'll spend $5 on, you get two. And they last fairly long. I mean, depends how much you're throwing them, depends how many fish you get on them, but these should last you a while, and they're great baits to throw. So you should definitely look into these horny toad ribbon frogs. They work great. Next, let's go into this. This right here is a Rapala X-Wrap. This is a great bait to throw during the early spring into fall, I'd say. This is a great bait to throw because it's going to fish underneath the water. It's going to fish suspended, obviously. But this is a great bait to throw. It's going to imitate a minnow, and you're just going to want to jerk this through the water, twitch it through the water, and cause that reaction strike when the bass are, you know, flying by and they see a bait fish come by. They're most likely going to hit it, and this is a great bait to throw when you want a bass to feed on a minnow. This right here is the Storm Arashi Square Bill. This is a great bait to throw in, I'll probably say early spring to fall as well. This is gonna be a key bait to throw in the fall. It's gonna cause those reaction strikes. Like I said, it's a bluegill pattern, so they're gonna be fattening up on those bluegill for the summer and for the winter. So this is going to be a good bait to throw. Right here we have a Strike King Red Eye Shad lipless crankbait, which is an awesome crankbait. It's a real, it's a fairly cheap crankbait. It's not that expensive compared to other lipless crankbaits on the market. But this pattern is very key too. I love this pattern. It resembles a red craw. It resembles a red craw, and it's gonna be good. These lipless.
Use that during the.
Yeah, we're gonna throw these a lot during the spawn, but this lipless crankbait stays under the water fairly well, so it's gonna be good. Like I said, we're gonna be throwing these a lot during the spawn. For some reason, the bass just love lipless cranks during the spawn. I can't tell you why, but these are
Hopefully I
gonna
don't lose one again like I did last year.
Yeah.
I casted it out and the thing just flew off
snapped. Yeah.
flew off my rod. So hopefully that doesn't happen again.
Lure caster over here.
Yeah.
So
You want to cover Here we have like a little bumblebee. I mean, I don't think Pete has used this, right?
yeah, this lure I haven't.
He caught his personal best.
I haven't caught this. Yeah, this lure I haven't caught anything on yet. But I just bought this because I heard very great things about this. I mean, we do a lot of bass fishing here. The channel's obviously named AP Bass Fishing, but we do a lot of fishing here that's other than bass. We fish for trout, we fish for perch, we fish for you know, crappie, all type of panfish really. Whatever's biting, we'll fish for, you know. But
And And a lot of the crickets Pete's use, I mean, he catches a lot of perch, and he actually, didn't you catch a pickerel off one?
I caught a pickerel off a cricket. Yep. But you know, these little insect baits were good. I caught my PB 4-pounder, which you know it isn't great. We're just starting off fishing, but you know, it's a start. You know, it's a start, and I feel just like these little insect bait work great. This isn't obviously a cricket. This is a bumblebee, but they work great for all species. I really gotta shout out Rebel for making such great baits. I mean, the quality of the bait's good for the price that they have it at. You know, you can't go wrong with the Rebel bait. This is if it's a Rebel Frogger, if it's the bumblebee, the cricket, the Rebel minnow. You know, they all work great. I can't complain about them.
And unfortunately for me, the only fish I've caught on like a cricket or a bumblebee is like a little sunfish. So hopefully I catch some bass this season on that. You'll see some of that footage.
Alright, so lastly we have a Z-Man chatterbait and a Z-Man shatter frog. These work fantastic in really any scenario. Open water, weeds, they'll work great, and not so much lily pads. I really wouldn't throw these in lily pads, since like I said, they're not weedless, but this you could probably get away with a little bit more because it's a chatter frog. You could try it. I really personally wouldn't do it. I'd fish just in more open water or weeds. But these you're really just gonna burn through the water, jig them a little bit. They'll work great. I really haven't gotten into chatterbait fishing that much. I really want to get into it. I really want to learn how to be effective at chatterbait fishing. But hopefully this season brings that in store. All right, guys. So this season we're going to be doing a lot of fishing where we go for targeting bigger fish, like he said. Hopefully me and him are going to have his license this year. We're going to be able to step outside the box a little bit, not fish as local as we do, like we have this past season and other seasons. But we're going to hopefully try to fish some bigger lakes, because me and him mainly stick to ponds and reservoirs. So if we try to go for some lake fish, we can try to get some.
Get on a boat.
Yeah, hopefully we get into maybe a couple of lakes where we could fish on a boat, maybe fish some tournaments that are around. But yeah, we have a couple of fishing trips planned right now. Like he said, we're gonna these aren't really trips, but he said we're gonna hit up the Farmington River,
West Hill
the
Pond,
Pickwick River, yep, West Hill Pond. We're definitely gonna make a day out of that. You know, I heard there's some good smallies in there too. So if the smallie bites on, we'll definitely go after some smallmouth. But we really have some big bass fishing trips planned. One being us going to Lake Carmody in Pennsylvania, where we're gonna catch a lot of fish. I've heard there's a lot of good fish in there. A lot of nice bass. I heard there's just some salmon in there, some trout. So if there's some salmon and trout, we'll definitely go after those a little bit. Try to make a good we'll try to make a catch and cook for you guys. It'll be an awesome video, something a little different. Show you how to cook the fish, fillet it up, prepare it, and see how it tastes. But we'll definitely do something like that if we hook into a trout or salmon. But we're gonna do that, and this really isn't a thing yet, but hopefully me and him maybe take down a fishing trip down to Florida.
Yeah,
it would be a great time. Hopefully, just to catch those, like I said, catch those big fish, have a chance of catching those, breaking our PB records or whatever, and having a good time down in Florida.
And like said, he's been fishing for about 4 or 5 years now. This is my second year fishing for bass and stuff, so this is just a learning experience. I'm taking it as much as I can. It's going to be awesome. We're both excited to have the opportunity to go to all these ponds, lakes, and rivers. It's going to be an awesome year.
Yeah, definitely. And I just want to go over my setup right now, which I'm running real quick. This right here is a 7-foot Arbor Garcia Vendetta medium action. This is paired up right now with the Arbor Garcia. What is this one? I'm not sure what the reel is. Here it is. The Arbor Garcia Aura S30. 5.81 gear ratio. It's a great reel. Hasn't failed me at all this year. This is paired up with spider wire, straight fluorocarbon, 10-pound test. The line works great. Never failed me once either. Haven't gotten cut off or snagged or anything really like that. But and right now I just got a little Chrissy Craw
Yeah, out of all the times he's gotten caught, he gets out of every single thing. And
Yeah,
that
this
rod's
rod
like a
is
tank.
great.
That rod's like a tank.
This rod is great. Even when you're fishing in the weeds, the muck, the pads, you get stuck. It's a great rod. It's just a great overall rod for anything, you know, fishing lures, fishing plastics. It's always gonna work. It's always gonna come through. So you guys should look at this rod. The price point's not so expensive on it for the rod. It's a quality rod for the price that it's marketed at. So you guys definitely check it out. But yeah, this will do it for this this episode of AP Bass Fishing. I thank you guys for tuning in, and we're sorry for the lack of content that we had over the past.
It's really hard fishing in CT.
Yeah, it's been hard. The content hasn't been there, and we get that. We realize that it's been tough for the channel. We really want to get into to fall and winter fishing this year. We're definitely gonna try to get better at that for this season coming up. But we appreciate you guys sticking with us, and we'll see you guys later. Thanks.
All right, see you guys.
In open water scenarios, you could pitch them into a you could pitch them into weeds. You could pitch them into a lot of stuff. I mean, this is a great bait for open water weeds. It really doesn't matter, honestly.
Do you want to just redo that? Just redo that part.
We have to now, since it is off. Really not that funny.
But don't.
Right here we have the Z-Man Chatterbait and the Z-Man Chatter Frog. These work great for really any scenario, really. You could fish.
Alright, go ahead,
Keep laughing at it. Honestly.
I'm sorry.
You're laughing at me, you're laughing at him.
Oh, him.
Yeah, I had to sneeze.
Fucking control yourself. Alright, so right here we have the Z-Man Chatterbait and we have the Z-Man Chatter Frog. These work great.
Tearing down a dirt road, rebel flag flying, coon dog in the back. Truck bed loaded down with beer and a cold one in my